Good afternoon and welcome to our regular council meeting for March 17th, 2025. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional territories and the oral practices of the Blackfoot Nation, which include the Siksika, the Kainai, and the Piikani. We also acknowledge the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations, the Métis Nation District 4, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. We're making this acknowledgement to demonstrate our continuing efforts to work together as we strive for reconciliation through increased and collective learning. Moved by Councillor Nesbitt that let me see here, we're gonna delete something from the agenda here.
We're gonna delete item 8B from the agenda and we'll bring it to the next committee meeting.
Okay, so 8B is deleted. So, okay, moved by Councillor Nesbitt that the agenda be adopted as amended. All those in favor? Carried. Now, I don't know, I think Bill was supposed to be online and Ray's supposed to be online. We can't see if you're online here, so.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
I heard something there.
Okay, moved by Councillor Idris that the minutes from the regular council meeting held March 3rd, 2025 be approved. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, need a mover for this motion here, that the February 2025 RCMP report be accepted as information. Making that motion is Councillor Wardrop. Okay, good afternoon, Sergeant Searle. How are you doing?
Good, yourself, sir?
Good.
Thanks for having me today. So my report's covering off the month of February 2025. During that month, we responded to 399 calls for service in the city. We lodged a total of 31 prisoners and conducted 78 criminal record checks and issued 99 violation tickets. Some miscellaneous investigations from February. From the 11th to the 27th, we responded to 24 calls for service regarding one male in the community. Those calls included suspicious persons, mental health complaints, various provincial offenses and mischief. We believe drugs and mental health were a factor in all the complaints. This put a great deal of strain on our resources. We worked very closely with our RCMP regional police crisis team, attempting to resolve some of the issues, and we took enforcement action in some of the complaints. Eventually, the male accepted our offerings of assistance, and he was taken back to his community where he lived and had supports already set up in place for him. On February 12th, we responded to the hospital for a male uttering threats to staff that he was going to attend the hospital with a firearm. We quickly located the male and he was arrested and charged with uttering threats. No firearm was located. We don't believe he had one in his possession. On February 24th, 1 p.m., we got a call from the Brooks Community Peace Officers. They attempted to conduct a traffic stop on a vehicle which fled at a high rate of speed. We located the vehicle as the driver was attempting to get out. He was taken into custody and charged with various provincial offenses, as well as criminal charges of flight from police and driving while suspended. On February 25th, we located a male who was wanted in connection with some recent thefts in the city. There was a theft for a Canadian Tire and a theft at Little Caesars. During those investigations, we identified this male as a prolific shoplifter from the Calgary area. We located the male when he returned to Canadian Tire, where we believe he was going to engage in additional thefts. He was arrested on his charges from Brooks, as well as he had some warrants from Calgary. He was remanded into custody after his hearing. That's my report from February. We also, from the 18th to March 5th, conducted our community consultation survey with the help of Safe Communities, just asking residents what they wanted police to focus on in our upcoming fiscal year, which starts in April. We received 150 responses on that survey, and the results indicate that the residents would like us to focus on drug enforcement, so targeting those around those that are producing and distributing harmful drugs, and reducing property crime, and lastly, traffic enforcement. And I'd like to, open the floor to mayor and council if you had any input into what you felt would be the priorities you want to see in your community in the upcoming year. And that's my report for the month of February.
Okay, just on the community consultation there, traffic enforcement to me, I won't say any of your, part of your job is easy, whatever, but that's a little bit, that's easier because you can do more police checks or you're out and about, whatever. How do you go about reducing property crime? That, to me, that's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it certainly is. Anything we do when we're trying to reduce something, it can be difficult, but there are ways, there are strategies, so we can focus more on education, focus more on, larger operations where we're working with partner agencies, whether it be the Southern Alberta Crime Reduction Team or Medicine Hat Alert. So there are lots of things that we do, and, last year, for example, we had a big push with the CEPTED in the community, which, any education helps. With property crime, for example, I could beat a dead horse here, but, recent example that we came into work in today, there was some thefts in the community, and, a couple of them were reported to us, but, quick glance on social media would say there's probably a few more thefts that occurred this weekend that weren't reported to us. So it makes it tough for us to do our jobs when people aren't telling us crimes happening, so education can go a long way.
Yeah, and maybe through the city, we can kind of help you in that end there too, because that's important there.
For sure.
There too, yeah. So, any other questions, Councillor Wardrop?
Thanks. I was hoping that, sorry to flip the question on you, but I was hoping that you could tell us what you think your top priorities are and how you feel the local RCMP priorities could line up with I guess, the information that you gathered from the community. Sure.
It's year after year, the city says that they want us to focus on drugs and property crime and traffic enforcement, and I'm honestly inclined to agree with them. The drugs, the harmful drugs in our community, it's not an issue unlike anywhere else in Alberta. It's a problem across Alberta that I think we need to look at as police, ways to reduce, lots of crimes stem from the distribution of drugs. And I think it's, everyone should be focusing on that. Property crime, I agree with. Again, a lot of the property crime comes back to drugs. So they go hand in hand. I think it's something that we definitely need to focus on in all our communities across Alberta. Traffic enforcement is also issues. We see a lot of collisions in town. Luckily, we don't have too many fatalities in town, but there's lots of collisions that result in injuries in the city. So that takes a lot of resources away from police. Luckily, we have partner agencies like the community peace officers. We have the RCMP traffic services from Redcliffe that we can work with. So it takes some of the strain away from police when we're responding to calls, dealing with drugs, mental health, or property crime. But it's definitely a priority in the community, and I think the city's bang on with, what the city and the county with the survey results. So,
Any other questions?
Yeah, can
Councillor
if I
Idris.
could,
I see the positions that you listed here. How many of these are filled and how many are vacant?
yeah, I don't have the vacancy in front of me, but most of them are filled right now. We have, I believe, one or two that are not filled. And then we have a few people off for, whether it be paternity leave or sick leave. So our numbers are pretty good right now.
So those who are on sick leave or maternity leave means that it's technically not filled?
Well, so we have,
they're
in the
they're not there now?
RCMP, so in our world, we have what we call hard vacancies, which are like, there's no one in that position. Or we have a soft vacancy where, that person is just off for, a set, undetermined amount of time, and that would be sick leave, parental leave. Like, usually we know when someone's coming back from parental leave.
Okay.
But we don't backfill those positions. They just remain vacant.
one of the positions we talked about recently was the resource officer with the school. Any update on that position?
Yeah, I don't have an official start date, but we've had that position filled for some time, meaning that there's a person who's slated to come into it. There was some personal issues that prevented him from transferring earlier in the year. We're just waiting on him now, I believe, to sell his house, so we should have him for the next school year.
Thank you.
Okay, any
Can you
other-
hear me?
Council Goodenough?
No,
Just to follow up to where Councillor Idris was, I don't think he was going there, but I want to go there. With that position, it was, I'm looking at the stats, it wasn't even, I don't even think on the radar. I think one person even thought that that was a necessary thing. How do we combat that? Is it not enough information that's out there to recognize the value of that position? Or when you see such a low, that the community doesn't seem to recognize it as
School
a-
resource
Yeah,
officer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, people don't see a lot of the work that those guys do. I can tell you, from my 17 years I have as a police officer, that they do a lot of work that goes unnoticed or unseen. And I'm not going to get into too much specifics here, but, I've come across some files, and, one very recently where a young person came forward to tell a story of how they were sexually assaulted by an adult for many years, and that was as a result of a presentation that they received in a school from a school resource officer. So the connections that they established with kids, they're not always there, as the hammer that law enforcement typically are. They're there to build trust with youth and get them to open up and know that we are people that they can turn to if they need someone. So I think they're very important, and I'm sure if we plug them every day with the work they're doing, then, people might have a better idea, but they often don't see the stuff that they're doing in the schools, so.
Okay, Councilor Woodruff?
John?
Another question on that line there. So how are the schools being supported from now until June? So there's some pieces in flux here. What support are the schools getting?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna, give any BS and say they're getting the same level of service that they do when they're paying and have that position filled, but each one of my members is assigned to a school within the area, and they're expected that they'll attend that school as frequently as they can and meet with the school staff and interact with the students and, try to fill that gap with education and keeping in touch with the schools, essentially. So we're still in the schools, just not on that full-time aspect where the school resource officer would be.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you for your
John?
time this afternoon.
John?
Thank you.
Okay, to the motion. All those in
Bill,
favor?
can you hear me?
Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that the Christ the Redeemer thank you be accepted as information. Mover for that motion. Councilor Goodenough?
Go for a drink.
Come forward here, Trustee De Jong.
Thank you. As you probably, all of you know by now, that we've been announced for the planning of a new school at the old rodeo grounds, and to be, in so many words, absolutely delighted. Our community, our faith community, our school community are just ecstatic. I mean, having been around when we first formed the schools 30 years ago, I can honestly say that this has been a cakewalk. But the reason I say that is that it all started with you folks. I thank the council, and particularly the councilors that supported the movement of that rodeo grounds to our school division. Has been, I can see nothing but opportunity, and for that I am very thankful, and I speak on behalf of our school division, and especially the staff that have been involved, Chris and some of the secretaries. That's been absolutely wonderful, and we're excited. I think, when when you look in Alberta rural areas, when you have schools being built, that means your communities are growing. And if you look that right now, they're starting the new junior high school, and of course, the comp is getting their improvements. So I'm conservatively guessing we're going to be spending in the next 5 years close to $100 million here. That is pretty phenomenal. And it starts with you folks. So thank you very much. And I was excited to see the large article in the Brooks Bulletin. I see that was, hopefully we'll see more positive things of our community and our schools. I think this is just a wonderful opportunity, and I look forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to ask, for timelines, like the planning is the first. Realistically, what do you think? 2 years, 3 years down the road?
I think optimistic. I just actually spoke in our superintendent, and I think the very best would be 4 years, but probably 5 years when we're moving into the school. We've basically skipped the first stage because we've gotten the land, serviced land.
Yeah.
The next is the planning.
Yeah.
And we're like I said, we're absolutely overjoyed. The people that are involved that got this going, and of course I started with you folks with the idea last June, and we're excited. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Any questions? Go ahead, Councillor Wardrop.
I just wanted to say, although I didn't agree with the location of the school, I just wanted to say, Mr. De Jong, congratulations, and I'm really pleased that you will be getting funding for that new school.
I think this community will absolutely see some marvelous things out of this project, so thank you.
Okay, and I'll just finish off here. Thank you. I think it's going to be, you've been a trustee this October for 8 years, right?
9 years, yeah.
9 years. Oh, okay, 9 years. So thanks for your community service too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're officially going into your second retirement now. So.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, need a mover for this motion here that the Eco Brooks Committee annual presentation be accepted as information. Making that motion, Councillor Nesbitt. Good afternoon. It's Maureen, right?
It is, yeah. Hello.
Okay, Maureen Lynn. Okay,
Okay,
the floor will
perfect.
be yours here.
Okay, well, thank you for allowing us this time to do our year in review for 2024. In 2024, we had 10 really hardworking volunteers, so we had a very successful year. Before I get into all of the activities that we accomplished, I think it's worthwhile to review our organizing values, just so you can make sense of how we've determined which actions we'll take on. So to just start off with real quick, we really value being involved in the community, and we want the community to be involved in our committee. Likewise, we value communication, and we really value listening to our community. And we find that there's great outcomes when we collaborate with, whether it's either other committees or businesses or organizations. And finally, we understand that the issues around talking about the environment are quite complex, as are those issues. And so we value problem solving, and we look for solutions to benefit the whole community. So that's just a little bit about our organizing values. We have 5 areas of focus, and I'm going to go through each of these areas of focus and talk about the projects we took on under each area. So water conservation, waste management, ecology, energy, and community building. Okay, we'll get off on our way here with water conservation. So Eco Brooks has a Facebook page and an Instagram account, and we use that social media platform to promote international and national days, such as the World Water Day. Not only did we just post about this day, but we also provided some information about ways to conserve water. We are responsible for the water conservation rebate program. And if anyone's unfamiliar with this program, it's a really great initiative, and where people can purchase a new appliance that is water efficient or a rain barrel, and then bring in their receipt for a $50 rebate if they've purchased from a local retailer. In 2024, we awarded 7 water rebates, 5 for rain barrels and 2 for the washing machines, and we hope to continue to grow that program. Okay, so one of our board members developed this cute sticker, and it's really just a way that we can engage the community when we're at events such as the farmers market in a friendly discussion about water usage. And the Yellowfish Road project was underway again in 2024. This year, EcoBrooks member Laura McDonald partnered with Newell Christian School. And we had 14 students and 3 staff assist in this project. The Yellowfish Road program is led by Trout Unlimited Canada, which is a nonprofit organization that focuses on freshwater conservation and education. So you may notice that there's yellowfish painted near the storm drains, and that's just a reminder that whatever we put in those storm drains will end up in our bodies of water. All right, so we recognize that drought can be a concern for farmers and gardeners alike, and one way that we've attempted to problem solve this is by creating and promoting our Xeriscape garden bed at City Hall here, and our native plant garden bed, which we just installed in 2024. Both garden beds contain drought-tolerant plants. We then, in the corner, you can see a little picture there. We did then share ideas for our community about different native plants so they wouldn't have to go and do that research. And here we have a little bit of crossover. So these garden beds also fall under our next focus area of ecology. And in 2024, we did some maintenance work on our Xeriscape bed, which has been at City Hall since 2012. We added 17 new plants, and then we installed the native plant bed. Here we've got a few people doing that. We actually, there were 70 plants that went into that bed. So not only are these garden beds just showcases for drought-tolerant plants or native plants, but these garden beds actually increase the biodiversity in our community. And in doing so, they help our native pollinators. And there's just a little bit of social media work that we did, trying to, create discussion around these issues. We participated in Family Day at JBS. We had a flower dissection workshop. And here's one of our longstanding members, Rudy, setting up for that workshop. Okay, one of our most major projects this year was to offer a workshop with Dr. Yamali Zavela. Dr. Zavela is a soil health and crop management expert. This workshop was free and open to the public. Dr. Zavela shared ideas on maintaining healthy soil. We acknowledged Earth Day by highlighting native plants and conservation activities. EcoBrooks participated in sign creation for the Kimbrook Connection Pathway. In 2024, we donated $5,000 towards signage, and we also developed draft signage templates for this pathway. And these designs highlight the significance of native plant species, pollinators, and the role of native prairies in maintaining our local ecosystem. EcoBrooks has spearheaded the initiative to have Brooks designated as a bee city, and this recognition comes from Bee City Canada, whose mandate is to protect pollinators and preserve the beauty of nature. So we did several activities. One of them was to collaborate with local businesses. So I'm going to just highlight this a little bit here because it's worth mentioning. Steaming Cup and Home Time Bakery, they created a honey-inspired treat. Thistle and Sage and Brooks Greenhouses, they offered a pollinator week sale. And then Philpott's Honey generously donated some honey that we could hand out at our farmers market for Pollinator Week. Pollinator Week is in June, and it is an international event. Every day of that week, we featured a different pollinator and provided information on our social media platform. And here we are at the farmers market giving away honey, as well as that eco-friendly sticker to just let our community know we are a bee city. We offered a garden walk and talk at the Xeriscape Garden and Native Plant Bed here at City Hall. And then we had a children's craft at the Lake Stafford. All right, we'll move into waste management. EcoBrooks has purchased 2 garbage bins in 2024 and paid for the shipping of a third. But in total, EcoBrooks has brought in 5 garbage bins for the city. And I just want to share with you something kind of cool about these garbage bins. The garbage bins are actually made out of recycled milk jugs. And timely, they are made in Canada. So there we go. We offer a $25 rebate for composts that are purchased locally. And here we collaborated with Communities in Bloom to do community cleanup. In 2024, we had 69 people donate their valuable time to come and clean up garbage, and they cleaned up a lot. We increased our participation in this event by 16 people from 2023. And we had a number of organizations that participated, including Brooks Bombers, Boston Pizza, South Country Co-op, Brooks Islamic Center, McDonald's, fire and EMS members, BCIS, and some of you here, City of Brooks. This was our first year that we had a pumpkin party. So this was kind of a fun idea. On November 1st, we asked people to donate or bring in, their beautifully carved pumpkins, and then we lit them. And this was just a way to reduce these pumpkins ending up in our landfill. And so these were brought to Newell Recycling for compost. Oops, I ended the presentation accidentally. There we go. All right, we participated in Meet with Santa, and we offered an eco gift wrapping workshop. We have a Fix It, Don't Pitch It campaign on social media, encouraging people to get their items fixed so they don't end up in the landfill, and also to shop through the thrift stores. Okay, so our next focus area is energy, and it's very short and sweet. It's one item. We celebrated Bike to Work Day, and we had a social media giveaway. So if you bike to work, you could send in your picture of doing so and win this lovely gift package here. Community building. So really a huge part of what we're doing is to be a part of this community. We want people to know we're here, that we care, and we would love to hear people's feedback and ideas. And one way and one avenue, I guess, that we do this is participate in Brooks Farmers Market. Our table here, we are able to share information about our activities as well as that of Newell Recycling. One of our major projects is to run the student art show around environmental issues. So in 2024, I believe it was around pollination. And this was the first year we had an art show at the Brooks Public Library. We had 66 entries for this contest. It was for students from elementary school to high school. And they had really fabulous art. Throughout the year, we will offer nature-inspired crafts. One of our members is an art teacher, Nicole Lalonde. And then we oversee a joint initiative with Elemental Energy, offering a community benefit grant program. So this program is aiming to provide financial support and initiatives to help our natural environment. In 2024, we received 5 applications for this grant, and we awarded 3 to Scandia Community Center, Brooks Farmers Market, and Brooks Composite High School Plant Club. The Business Sustainability Award, we highlight local businesses who are taking initiatives to be sustainable. In 2024, we awarded the Brooks Farmers Market for showcasing the vital importance of supporting local businesses for a more sustainable future. With our Business Sustainability Award, we always work with local businesses to make the award, so they're quite artistic. And this year in 2024, we worked with Brooks Industrial Metals, And they created a really nice award that will be on showcase at the Brooks Farmers Market. And there's a very poor photo of it. It does not do it justice, but it's a really lovely award. Okay, and this is our last item here. Around Christmas time, we decided we wanted our community to know that in Brooks, you can shop for sustainable items. So we promoted a Christmas giveaway, encouraging people to shop local, and we showcased environmentally friendly products. Okay, well, thank you. That is our year in review. And thank you again for allowing us this opportunity to contribute to our community.
I'll open it up for questions. I was just going to ask one. I know Communities in Bloom isn't doing their international judging this year. Are you still going to do a community cleanup?
I believe so.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, any other questions? Councilor Goodenough.
Just some food for thought. Great presentation, by the way. Recently, in other communities around Alberta, they're taking initiatives to promote solar panels for housing. And that'd be an interesting project to see happen in our city, where we as a city could partner to help reduce or use the sun as an opportunity, alternative source to energy. So I'd really like to see something like that down the road.
Yeah, thank you. That's something that we've been discussing as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Councilor Wardrop.
Well, first of all, huge, well, my compliments. Your board is really committed to the cause, and you've been very busy, and you have all these different, I guess, opportunities to promote sustainability and involve yourself in the community. This is, every single year, I'm more and more impressed with Eagle Brooks, so
Thank you so much.
thank you. Keep up the great work. I did have a question too. So, as I think these rebate programs are fantastic, and people will want to take advantage of them if they know more about them. Is there a way that we could promote that further, or your board could promote the those, particularly the water conservation rebate program? Sorry.
Yeah, no, thank you for the question. I think it's a great opportunity for local businesses to help with their own business. You know, I think it's a way to promote buying local. And so whether it's, we're open to working with local businesses and promoting that, providing some information to them so that they can give to their customers. So that's one avenue. If local businesses want to connect with us, we are open to that. And then, you know, it's something that we just want to continue to feature on our social media or maybe the city's website. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Councilor Idris and then Councilor Nisbet. Sorry, Councilor Idris, yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. Lots of information. Something that didn't come up in the presentation is the edible garden. I think you guys
Yes.
are planning to do something with it. Do you wanna tell us a bit more about it? Maybe people can hear about it and
Sure. So thank you for bringing that up, actually. We have in the past run an edible garden at Lake Newell. And it's a
Lake
great-
Stafford.
Lake Stafford, sorry, thank you. So it's a great opportunity to showcase what we can grow in this climate. And people are welcome to come in and harvest and help themselves as well. Unfortunately, in 2024, we were not able to. That was not in our control. So we weren't able to have an edible garden. But we are looking forward to starting that up in 2025. We're making plans already to run that garden. And so it's something that I really hope the community comes out and takes advantage of. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, yeah, nice to see that back there. Councilor Nisbet.
I'm a huge supporter of Eagle Brooks.
Oh, thank you.
The two garbage containers that Councillor Juska
Yeah.
erected by the rec center, are you planning on doing any more? I know they're hugely expensive, but
They are
is your plan to be putting more around Brooks?
To be honest, I mean, Councillor Juska might be able to speak to that more.
Oh, is that
I
right?
can't remember our work plan at
Okay,
this
that's
point.
fine.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he wants to speak on that.
Councilor
you hear
Jessica,
me?
you want to talk? Well, he doesn't want to talk about
He's
it.
muted.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
I'm
you're muted.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
muted.
Oh, okay.
I, like,
We can hear you.
oh, you can hear me? Okay, great. Okay, so, yeah, so Edinburgh Garden is back in the plans. We've been working on that. We just had a meeting last week talking about that. And the bins, so we put in 5 altogether, and they were targeting higher traffic areas, especially where you have people coming from downtown towards the schools, where you do have a bit more of a litter problem. And so there's 4 around the JBS Center, and I think they've been quite successful. And I guess it started out as we had a little bit of revenue left over from our annual grant from the city, for which we're very grateful. And I think that, and we did communicate with Public Works about citing and whether they needed them or not. And I think if getting towards the end of the year, if we still have some available resources to purchase some more and the city could use them, then we would probably do so. And it's a great committee to be on. The people are just so hardworking, it's hard to believe.
Thank you, Mr. Juska.
Okay, yeah, thank you, yeah, Councillor Jessica. There, okay, any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Maureen, for your time this afternoon and for the work you do on that committee there.
Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate that, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here that the following items of correspondence be received as information updates on council conferences and/or workshops and notes from the council committee February 25th, 2025. Mover for that motion, Councillor Nesbitt. I don't know, was there anybody that had anything for conferences and workshops? Okay. Do you have, Councillor Idris, go ahead.
We recently attended the Alberta Munis Spring Caucus, as well as some of us attended also the President's Summit the day before the caucus. Lots of good information. In one thing I would like to just highlight is that change with the police governance situation. So the minister was there and he talked about some of the changes coming up, and I think I followed up with our CAO to move that forward also in our end here, to create that police governance, civilian police governance committee.
Okay, just to add to what you're talking about at the conference, there's a lot of Trump talk, whatever. I mean, that sort of dominated, I think, the discussions for a few days there. To Councillor Idris also asked about, to our Premier and MLA about Bill 18 and Bill 20, right? So, but not a big response back or whatever, yeah. So, yeah, okay. Councillor Nesbitt?
I just wanted to mention that because I'm an Irish citizen and this is St. Paddy's Day, I want to read a blessing for all of you. May those who love us, and those who don't love us, may God turn their hearts, and if he doesn't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles so we may know them by their limping.
Thank you very much, and you did that.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, you did, in a great Irish accent, too.
I love my accent.
Yeah. Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Yeah. Okay, need a mover for this motion here that council appoint Vicky Belanger, Sandy Haberman Melville, Christy Waldner, Debbie Smith, Jim Smith, Stuart Ward, Dustin Dowler, and Jim Belanger to the Business Revitalization Zone, or the BRZ Board, effective March 1st, 2025, and ending March 1st, 2026. Mover for that motion, Councillor Idris, and I think CO Parker's got this one here.
Yeah, this one's very short and sweet, Your Worship. What this is this is part of the MGA and also part of our bylaw. The process is they make a nomination to us, and then council approves the basic appointees. So with that, there's really this, they had their meeting, and they had their people that they're wishing to pick on or appoint.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep. Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. I need a mover for this motion that policy F002-004D, entitled Workplace Violence, Harassment, Abuse, Sexual Harassment, Bullying Policy, be adopted. Mover for that motion, Councillor Nesbitt. Okay, CO Parker, I believe, again.
Thank you very much, Your Worship and Council. As discussed in the committee council meeting, we did review this policy. City of Brooks Human Resources, the County of Newell Health and Safety, City of Brooks Health and Safety Committee, the senior management team, and also we sent a copy off to the Provincial Occupational Health and Safety. Several amendments were made. We went through each one of the amendments and the reasons why. And basically, we are recommending, the committee is recommending that the policy be approved as amended.
Okay, any questions? Okay, to the motion, all those in,
Oh, well, hold on.
oh, sorry.
John.
Whoops.
Just one question.
Councillor
Looking
Jessica?
at it- Yeah, looking at it on page 4, if you go down to Roman numeral, I guess, XII 12. So I've been trying to find a copy of the Human Rights, Citizenship, and Multiculturalism Act. And I can't find any such animal. There is an Alberta Human Rights Act. And so I don't know if this is something from the past or if I don't know if CEO Parker can enlighten me on that, but it's one of the key references in this document, and I have no idea what's in it.
So,
CO Parker, if you want to turn on your mic, and then, yep.
sorry, on page 4, item 5?
It'd be
12.
item 12, XII.
Okay, I'm going to read again.
Which? X11? Okay.
So I tried Googling that document, and I could not find it either federally or provincially under that name.
So we are going to be making another change in this policy. So if this is an issue or concern, we can always bring it up in the next change. But at this particular point, we have to have a policy approved today, and literally within a short period of time, we'll be looking at some other things. So if this is a concern, we can look at this.
Are you fine with that, Councillor
Yeah,
Jessica?
no, I'm fine with that. I'm prepared to proceed with it. It's just, again, it's fairly important. Looks like it's a fairly important reference for this document. So I think we just need to clarify that. Thank you.
Okay, but we're fine to go ahead with the, okay. Okay, to the motion then, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, I need a mover for this motion here that council approve of declaring part of Northeast 331814 West 4 as surplus land, and that it be listed for sale. Mover for that motion, Councillor Idris. Okay, Planning Director Tiffin.
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council, as discussed during the council committee meeting held on March 11th, city staff is looking to have council support to declare a specific land parcel surplus as to the needs of the city. The subject property is part of Northeast 1814 West of 4 and is actually two separate titles, both of which are currently owned by the municipality and zoned public space. The map of the property is attached for your reference. The land is municipally owned and has been reviewed by internal and external stakeholders and declared as not something that is needed by the city of Brooks. An appraisal has been completed for the property as if it were subdivided, amalgamated, and rezoned. So right now, council has two options: that they can formally declare the subject property as surplus and allow it to be listed for sale, or option two is that council can provide further direction to administration. Staff will, depending on the outcome of council's decision today, if it is declared surplus, we would be looking at rezoning that property as commercial and listing it for sale. So our recommendation today is that council formally declare the subject property as surplus, that we list it for sale, and if there are any questions, I'm happy to respond.
Okay, any questions? Okay, to the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Need a mover for this motion here, that bylaw number 2510 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks and the Province of Alberta, being a bylaw to set a rate for the business improvement area tax on businesses located in the Brooks Town Center revitalization zone, be introduced and read a first time. Mover for that motion, Councillor Jessica. Okay. Finance Director McKinnon.
Again, through the chair, this is the budget being proposed by the Business Improvement Area. Tonight, we're asking council to consider first reading. The businesses in that business improvement area would be notified that council would be doing second and third reading on April 7th to give effect to the budget the Board of Directors has put forward. Resident or business owners within that, operating within that area would also be informed that they could attend council meeting expressing any concerns related to the overall budget. But that's it in a nutshell.
Okay. To the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, questions from the media? Sandra? No, nothing from the media. Okay, need a mover for the motion to adjourn. Councillor Nesbitt again gets his name on it on Irish Day here too. That the meeting adjourn at 5:15 p.m. All those in favor? Carried.